What is the best way to lose weight? Besides doing calorie counting and low carb safely. One Reddit user asks, welcome to my show where I take on some of the popular Reddit questions that are on threads and answer and give you my take on it with some science, some background, hopefully some context as well, because it is extremely hard to write answers that kind of explain someone's context without understanding their needs. For example, in this thread, we'll take the first answer is one word, OMAD, which is one meal a day, right? Zero context to the person and about the person. So I'm going to hopefully help you understand a bit more and give you some idea on what you should do as well. But first, coffee. User J the Jet Plan 319 asks, what is the best way to lose weight besides doing calorie counting and low carb safely? Now, there's some context here, which is good. I'm a 26-year-old, 5'11", 295 pounds. Okay, so that's 130 kilos. Around the treadmill, obese individual not knowing would strain and cause dull pain in my knees. It's been 3 days and the pain has. I can walk through it. Is there any way I can shed 20, 30 pounds without counting calories or low carb? I would count calories, but my mother does not support it, and it's harder. What are the ways I can shed some pounds safely without losing macro or micronutrients? Okay, so this question is very confusing because you want to lose weight, but you don't want to count calories, but you understand the terms micronutrients or macros, or you probably misunderstand the term. So, as I said, Reddit is an interesting place because people's comments can be quite out of context. The first comment says OMAD, which is one meal a day, which is a very valid strategy for someone who is maybe bigger, who wants to lose weight, because having one calorie dense meal could be a good way to put you in a calorie deficit. However, again, they have not asked or put the person into any context or idea. What this person, before I go into the comments, what this person should do, in my professional opinion, is they should start some strength training. And because you're 26 years old and you're a bit on the heavier side, probably start with low intensity impact exercise. So a lot of walking, so like getting your steps up, 10K a day, building up to it, and some body weight strength training, because you need to strengthen your ligaments, your joints, and your muscles before you start doing some resistance training or running, because in this case he ran and he strained his legs and they're still sore. Your body isn't used to moving. Your ligaments, your joints aren't used to this impact and stress and load. So no wonder the first time you exercise and you start running before you can walk, you feel like you've been hit by a truck. Specialist Wave 9800 asks, new to the gym. So to start working out, I'm skinny, 185 at 68 kilos. That's pretty skinny and pretty tall, actually. My goal is to gain weight and build muscle. I have actually enjoyed working out. All exercises don't hit the right muscles. It just kills my motivation. And yes, I understand my form is off, but I can't just get it right. How do you guys start and really need advice? If you're someone who's taller, skinnier, and you're looking to put on some weight and you're new to the gym, you don't need to hit the right muscle to feel the motivation. What you need is a plan and a system. Basically, you just need a three. You do upper, lower, and that is it. You stick 4 to 6 movements. You have workout A, that is upper body chest focused, workout B, lower body glute focused, workout C, that could be upper body back focused, and workout D could be lower body quad focused, for example, right? So you're hitting the front back, up, lower kind of split. Let's say 4 to 6 exercises, stimulate hypertrophy, especially if you're new. That's essentially all you have to do. And then because you're 185 centimeters and you're 68 kilos, you probably need to be in a calorie surplus. If you check out the link in my bio, I've got my calorie quiz, my calorie calculator that I've custom made. Essentially, a 60-second calorie quiz. You enter your information, and it will tell you the rough calories you need and you should be consuming for losing, gaining, or maintaining. All right, this is a good question. How to stop constantly eating when it's the only thing you enjoy, and I hate like super healthy foods. How to work out when you have no time. Okay, so this is a two-part question. There is some context here, so let's look into the context. I'm ugly fat. I'm 190 pounds and 5'3". I wouldn't say 190 pounds is necessarily fat at 5'3", but fair enough. And one issue I have is I eat a lot. And the reason is why I'm extremely depressed and I don't enjoy anything anymore. And food is my only source of joy. So this is the first piece we have to unravel: emotional eating and psychology with the eating. So potentially working with a registered dietitian or nutritionist that knows how to reprogram and rewire the habits with nutrition and depression is probably the best thing to do. Because if someone just said calorie deficit, which is of course important, but when you have an inherently deeper issues with food and relationship where food becomes a source of joy and dopamine, we have to work on that first. Because if you do a calorie deficit and you lose weight, you'll put it back on immediately after, because that's your source of joy. You're wired that way, right? So plus my whole life has been focused on school and it's been rough. I ended up binge eating a ton of weight to cope with fat and no one will like me. How do I fix this? Because every time I lose weight, I lose 20 pounds, gain 30 because I'm so depressed. Exactly my point, what I mean. So it leads to binging and a vicious cycle and then you feel guilty and depressed and it's this constant cycle of validation. Also hate salads besides Caesar salads. I think most of them are gross. I hate most vegetables. Most vegetables besides bok choy, Vietnamese bok carrots, avocado, if that counts. Those are crucial for my weight loss. Most of them give me stomach problems. What should I do? Lastly, I have no time to work out. I'm constantly doing schoolwork, and when I break, I want to use it as a break. I hate the gym, and it makes me depressed, and I want to throw up in there. What alternatives can I do through the day? I want to go to 150 pounds. I know I'm still overweight, but I don't care. I'm probably getting 130 realistically. Unhealthy relationship with food and your body. So that's the first thing I would work on. I know that's not the answer you want to hear. And if you have no time as well, there are plenty of other things you can do aside from the gym. And if you hate the gym, you can work out at home. You can do plenty with a couple of kettlebells or a dumbbell with some resistance training at home. But the first thing is I would look at building a better relationship with your food. So seeking some help from a professional dietitian or nutritionist would be my first recommendation. Now, if you hate the gym, you could also find ways that you might like the gym and resistance training that might work for you. And that could be group classes, it could be hiring a coach, it could be having an online trainer, it could be trying out other forms of resistance training like bouldering, running, swimming. Those are all great alternatives to strengthening and building a bit of muscle and your tissue and increasing the metabolic tissue, which is muscle in your body, which will help you burn more calories. So I'll look into doing those things, especially. You don't just have to go to the gym and pump iron, and that's the only answer. There are many other ways to stay fit and active. Okay, another one on hating the gym. Seems like there's a trend on hating the gym. I want to change the world. I want to make everyone love the gym somehow. Not that everyone has to love the gym, see why people hate the gym. So, how can I lose weight if I hate the gym? Hi, everyone. I'm a 20-year-old female, around 5'6". I'm currently about 72 kilos, 76. So, I'm currently weighing 72 to 75 kilos. I've been wanting to lose weight and get healthier, but I struggle with lack of motivation, with a lot of motivation when it comes to the gym because I honestly don't enjoy it. Fair enough. Motivation is it's so easy to get into this mental motivation masturbation, I call it, where you just kind of watch motivational videos, you watch some TikToks, you listen to a podcast, and you get like, okay, today's the day I'm going to get my shit together. And you do more of that than actually action. So you talk more than you do. And that's why motivation doesn't last. You need a system, a plan. So you just show up like you go to work or you go to school, you go to class, and eventually you get to, you do the work and you graduate and you pass, or you fail, but you do the work. Same with work, same with the job, right? I was wondering if people here have successfully lost weight without going to the gym. I'm open to doing things like walking, swimming, and other activities that don't feel like typical gym workouts. I'm willing to improve my diet if that's the main thing that helps. What did I just say in my previous post? You do not need to go to the gym. You can walk, you can swim, you can boulder. There are so many alternative other ways of resistance training your body that don't involve pumping iron in a gym. My goal right now is to lose some weight, to lose some fat, feel healthier, and rebuild better habits. If anyone's got advice that worked for them, especially if they didn't like the gym, I would really appreciate about hearing about your experience. So the first thing is I would find out what you type of exercise and activity you enjoy. Is it walking? Is it running? Is it swimming? And that you can sustain, especially someone who hates the gym and doesn't like activity, you probably find more excuses to skip it. So finding something that you actually truly enjoy, the process, will make it so much better. If it's doing it alone, if it's doing it social, group classes, like I said, bouldering, other activities along those lines are a good way to start. Nutrition is, of course, important, very important if you want to lose some weight. As you said, you're 72 kilos and you want to lose some weight and get healthier. So, understanding the macronutrients, understanding calories, and the difference between eating healthy food and eating for fat loss is also important to understand. Fat loss is a deficit, and eating healthy is just eating whole foods and minimizing your processed intake, right? So that's the first thing I would start. And then once you have that, build the routine, and maybe eventually you'll fall in love with training. Maybe you just need a type of resistance training that you enjoy. Could be CrossFit, could be high rocks. It doesn't matter. It's the point is whatever makes you stick to it that you enjoy is important. Right. That's the wrap for the first episode of the Reddit Talk Show. Catch me in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.